welcome to Split the Screen episode 1, the brand new gaming podcast. All new, all fashionable and glamorous. I am Ben Ostwick, otherwise known as Biggest Bennis on Twitch, and my co-host with the most host, Mr. Ed Nightingale. Hello, Ed.
Hello, Ben and chat. How is everyone?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
Well, I'm all right.
I think we should tell people who you are. Like, I'm Biggest Bennis on Twitter. On Twitter. Biggest Bennis 1 on Twitter. I'm Biggest Bennis on Twitch. Is probably what you might know me from. How do people know you, Ed? Because you're not a streamer, are you? Until now.
I'm not. Until now. I know. I'm doing this on like a laptop webcam. I've got a desk light shining in my face, so we're not yet sponsored by Elgato, I'm afraid. Not yet.
Get that in first few minutes. Who knows?
Look, someone might be out there. Until then, you've got my pasty whiteness, so apologies.
We're British. It's the thing.
Who am I? I am Ed Nightingale. I am a freelance games journalist in my spare time, with articles in The Guardian and Eurogamer, Wireframe magazine, and I have a regular column in Gaming magazine, which is gaming with a Y, called Streamer Spotlight, where I interview a different LGBTQ plus streamer each week about their experiences of Twitch and building community and all these sorts of things, which started with this one, unfortunately. And
other side.
I mean, everything's reversed.
We'll get there.
We'll get it. And I'm also here. Yeah. Fine. This one. And then I've had loads of really interesting people since then. So I've got to learn a lot about Twitch without being on it myself until now.
And now you are. Now you got the bug. Careful with it. But yeah, this is Split the Screen. I probably should mention the name of it. This is Split the Screen. We are a brand new video game podcast, and we are every week, every Thursday. It's going to be recorded 7 p.m. on twitch.tv/biggestbennis. You can also go to splitthescreen.com, which shows on the screen if you are watching the video version of this. And you can find it on Spotify, iTunes. Oh, it's not called iTunes anymore. Apple Music podcast. Yeah, the Apple thing. If you've got one of those newfangled iPhone phones, then you can go and listen to us on there. We're also on all like RSS feeds like TuneIn. Apparently we're on Alexa. So you can say things like, hey, Alexa, subscribe to Split the Screen. And maybe they'll...
Now I need an Alexa immediately.
Yeah, I've got like 5. I wonder if if I subscribe to every single Alexa that I've got, if I subscribe it to this podcast, will it help the stats? We'll see. But yeah, please go and follow us and subscribe on there. And it makes us look popular, which you need at the start. You need a bit of a boost.
Absolutely.
But yeah, welcome. We're going to be anybody here who is new and is like, what is going on? What we're going to do is we're going to just talk about video games. Video games we've been playing, video games we've been reading about in the news, for example, and also kind of the last part of the stream, we're going to go and just chat about something. So we've got some interesting stuff coming up.
Could be anything.
Could be anything. So, Ed, how's your week been?
It's been fine. It's been nerve-wracking building up to this, trying to come up with some semblance of a structure, but here we are.
I think you're like a singer. I don't know why you're nervous.
I honestly would rather sing than speak. Shouldn't have said that.
Don't Christmas special, maybe. Who knows?
If you're all very good boys and girls.
Yeah. We have to do a special podcast at one point where we're just really drunk. That needs to be
I know. I'm on the water now, but Christmas time, let's get some mulled wine. Let's
cover wrap tinsel around us. Yeah, and then antlers and Santa hats. Perfect.
Let's do it.
So, Ed, speaking of games, what games have you been playing lately? Because you play quite a lot of weird and different games, don't you?
All right. That's nice.
You play loads of shit weird games. Oh, shit. Damn it. I said I was going to try and not swear, but yeah, we'll keep that explicit tag on.
Yeah, fine. What have I been playing? I've been playing lots of things. I mean, I genuinely have a Trello board where I keep track of everything I'm playing.
Wow.
But we are, this is our launch episode, and we're celebrating the PS5 and Xbox launches. So we're kind of talking about launch games. And I could sit here and tell you all about Demon Souls, which I've been playing, which looks stunning on PS5, and is also easier than I remember it being on PS3. But I think that's just because I actually know what I'm doing now, because I definitely didn't beforehand.
Show off.
But I'm not going to talk to you about Demon Souls.
Are you going to talk about the Xbox launch games?
What's that?
Could you name one? I don't want to turn this into like a console wars thing, but what were their launch games? God, it's already started. It's turned into one of them.
Fine. I mean, I could talk to you as well about Final Fantasy XIV, which I've been playing a lot on PC, and I'm absolutely bored to tears with.
Wow.
But someone keeps telling me how great it is.
It is. Once you've played 250 plus hours and got to the third expansion. Oh no, fourth. Is it the first? Yeah, no, the one, two. Yeah, it's the third expansion.
The first one, because I'm nearly there.
It's the third expansion. You know, after a few hundred hours and you get to that third expansion, it is amazing.
I mean, I'm 60 hours in, and you know, I really love it when you buy a game and then it finally gets good at 60 hours in.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no, a bit more. You just need to follow maybe the story is a bit, too kind of deep.
What story? There is no story.
Oh, we are off the rail. Well, we've lost
viewers
already.
Final Fantasy 14. There's only one thing that I want to talk about right now.
Astro's Playroom.
Talk about Bugsnax.
Oh God, it's worse than I was.
Wait, we're not going to get DMCA'd for that, are we?
No, well, no, I'm sure it sounded just like it did, but no, we won't get DMCA'd.
Just like the original.
Yeah.
No, we're going to talk about Bugsnax, because Bugsnax is amazing. I love Bugsnax. You hate it.
I don't hate Bugsnax. I played about an hour of it and thought that was all right. I'm done.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
It was nice. Look. I'm glad it was free. Is that a compliment?
Rude. Look, let's start with the music, because the theme tune is a banger, and I think that's what gripped everyone when we first saw it being announced. But the music in general is actually really good in it. It's got this sort of synth poppy, electro poppy thing going on.
Tropical house.
Also, it's not tropical house. There is a difference.
If anybody's wondering, yeah, my Spotify says that I like tropical house, which I had no idea. Apparently that's Kygo.
Apparently.
Listen to a lot of them.
But yeah, it's sort of synth poppy, but it's also sort of wistful and nostalgic. And I think that really fits the vibe of the game. It's this really upbeat kind of fun, funny, colorful game, but then it's got quite sort of serious undertones to it as well. That I think makes it something that adults will also enjoy. So for anyone who doesn't know, Bugsnax is set on Snacktooth Island, and there are bugs, and the bugs are snacks, and you have to catch them. So it's kind of a little bit like Pokemon. They even say their names like Pokemon. So there's one that's like a little walking strawberry that goes Strappy, or
bunga 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 bunga.
Bunga 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 bunga. And you basically just have to catch them, but they exist in a little ecosystem where, they all have their likes and dislikes, and so you have to sort of solve puzzles to catch them, whether that be using different traps or whether that be using different types of sauce to get them, all this kind of stuff to catch them. And the reason you're catching them is for the inhabitants of the island, who I think are called Grumples. Something like that.
Grumples.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
Who are sort of weird little fluffy creatures. And when they eat a bug snack, their limbs turn into the snack.
Yeah, that disturbed me slightly when I was playing it.
It's strange. You feed them a Strappy, and then they have a strawberry as an arm or something else. Like it's weird.
Doesn't it become a bit weird, like if they've got a strawberry as one leg and then like a hot dog as another? Don't they like walk with a bit of a limp?
I mean, they walk a bit funny anyway, so It doesn't really make that much difference, to be honest.
Grumpus.
They just look strange.
Grumpus is their name, says Money.
Grumpus. Thank you. I was close. So the sort of core of the game, though, is that yes, you're collecting these I was going to say Pokemon, bug snacks, but you're actually doing it to build a community. So there's a village at the center, and I'm not going to say too much to spoil it, but there's a village at the center, and all the inhabitants are all off around the island. So you have to basically help them to bring them back to the village. And in that sense, it's all around building community and people finding their purpose, finding their identity. There are queer characters in it.
Straight
It
away,
touches on
2 minutes in, lesbians.
straight away in there. It sort of touches on mental health things. Like
Wow.
there are some quite serious things in there, but all wrapped up in this really like cute little package that I know you don't like it, but I think is really fun, and I really, really urge people to go and play it. I think in a lot of ways it's a really good game to bookend 2020 because I
Yeah.
think 2020, when we look back at it, is going to be the year of like cozy, comfy games like Animal Crossing and Spiritfarer and
Resident Evil
even
3.
Sims and stuff like that making a comeback. And this sort of fits into that cozy, comfy vibe. And I think it's just a really nice way to end the year. So yeah, please go and play Bugsnax. It's not just a good theme song; it is actually a really good game as well. So please go and play it.
Okay, so the reason why I despise bugs. No, I'm joking. I
There we go.
no. I was going to ask you is how long is the game? Because I'm guessing you finished it.
I haven't actually finished it yet. It's not super long. I
Okay.
think I'm a fair way through it. So I would guess maybe like 12 to 15 hours, maybe.
I think I'll go to Assassin's Creed instead.
Oh god.
No,
Fine. Don't play it then.
I will play it probably, maybe, perhaps. What's the platinum like? Is platinum nice and easy? I've become a platinum hunter now.
Oh, you're one of them.
No,
I
I actually, yeah, kind of did.
actually haven't looked at the trophies.
Oh, how long to beat says it's 10 to 12 hours.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
No, I don't know why I'm pretending I don't like Bugsnax because I played an hour of it and I loved it. But it wasn't a game that I'd stream, and I was going to wait for it to come on PS5 so I could play it, and I'm going to go and play it. It'll probably be my like, oh, I don't want to play a game that's as deep as Assassin's Creed. Let me go and goof around a bit on Bugsnax.
Yeah. I mean, it's been my palate cleanser against Demon Souls. So when I get frustrated at a boss, I can go and catch some Bugsnax.
My current palette cleanser is a little game called Spider-Man Miles Morales. That was my launch game that I played on my PlayStation 5.
I was going to say, like, I was going to ask you what you're playing, and then I was like, well, you're just playing Animal Crossing all the time.
Oh,
so-
I stream Animal Crossing, but I don't play. I do not play Animal Crossing. So anybody that has found this podcast through my stream, I love Animal Crossing. It's my stream game, but I make sure I do not touch it off stream because otherwise, it's anything I'm going to play on Animal Crossing, I want to play on stream, in case something bizarre happens or whatever. I'm just keeping it for that. I stream it, but I play other games to kind of relax. I want to murder things sometimes. Things I want to murder them. I want to web people off a building. Yeah. Also, as well, one thing I love about Spider-Man, going straight into it, that also existed in the first one and in this one, he doesn't kill anybody. You can like fire punch, electrify somebody off the top of a building. They'll drop like halfway down it and then suddenly just go into the be attached to the be attached to the window or whatever by a web. Love that. But yeah, no, Spider-Man Miles Morales. It is more Spider-Man, but it is more better Spider-Man, which is
more better Spider-Man.
more better.
Great pitch.
Yeah. Can tell who the games journalist is here, who the writer is. More better Spider-Man. It's
Good. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
pretty much everything that was in the original Spider-Man is improved here. So you're playing as Miles Morales. Spoiler. You do get to see the new old Spider-Man, another classic, bit of grammar there. So because Spider-Man, as anybody knows, if you've been following the news lately, he has been updated for the remaster, which is what I actually got. I got the box that came with Spider-Man Miles Morales and the original because it was only a little bit more. Well, I got scammed actually at Game because he's like, do you want the Ultimate Edition? And I was like, yeah. I didn't know it came with a game that I already played, but I just, I'm easily swayed. Do you want the Ultimate or the Deluxe version? I'm like, whichever's the most expensive, I'll buy. I'm going to do that with Cyberpunk as well a bit
Did it come
later.
with a statue or something as well?
No, I don't want the statue. I don't go for statues because I can't play those. So I'll I went for that. Game also managed to get me to join their some weird loyalty bonus thing. I don't know what it is, but I'm now a black card
I've got
member.
about 5 different game cards. And
Yeah.
I go to the desk and like, do you have a game card? I'm like, probably.
Yeah. Oh, I used to have a Spanish one that I kept accidentally giving when I first came back over to the UK. And they're like, this isn't working. I'm not sure why. And then they look on the back and it's all in Spanish. I'm like, okay, no, that's why it's not working. No, I'm now an elite card member, and I've got something like £15 worth that I'm going to spend on God knows what. But yeah, no, play that. But I also, so Dave, my partner, he was
So
playing a little bit.
hang on. How much better is Miles Morales to the original Spider-Man? Because controversial opinion, I don't think it was that great.
I'm looking forward to when we have a little discussion about the best console exclusives of the last generation, because for me, for the PlayStation 4, nothing beats Spider-Man.
Like it's for me, like it was really solid. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not a massive Marvel or Spider-Man fan, so it's fine. It's really fun. It's really well made, but it didn't do anything particularly exciting.
Did
But
you
then
not?
I feel like
Did you
Miles
walk
Morales at
everywhere?
least is. Did I what?
Did you walk everywhere? Because that's what I did with the Dave. So the Dave, he was downstairs. I was like, okay, you're going to play the original because you're not touching Miles Morales. You know, it's a sequel of sorts. So you're going to play a bit of the original. So we loaded it up because it's all remastered. You know, this 2-year-old game has now had its full remaster. They've changed the actor. Still not quite sure why. Somebody said it's to do with money. So that's, yeah, makes sense. So yeah, loaded it up, and you had to go to a mission, and he walked there. So is that, maybe that's what you did, Ed? Maybe that's why you found it boring. Maybe you didn't swing, because swinging in that
I
game
was
is
definitely
just...
swinging in the game.
He's a swinger. Yeah, he's so British.
No, I was definitely swinging in the game. I just, it was fun. I really enjoyed it for like a week when I played it and got the platinum, and that was great. But I didn't feel the need to go back.
Didn't really like it. I just got the platinum, and
you know, casual. But at least Miles Morales has more diversity in its characters and its setting, and it seems like it has a better story. So there's that at least.
So it's better. So you are it. Miles Morales as a character is so much better than Peter Parker. Peter Parker is just bland milk, whereas he's just the most. Yeah, he's. I mean, I like Spider-Man. I love the Spider-Man movies with what's that? The new person.
I was about to say Tobey Maguire. That's old.
Yeah, the one that's at the Game Awards because he's playing Nathan Drake now.
Like child Nathan Drake, yeah.
Tom Holland, that's it. Tom Holland.
There you go.
I really like him as Spider-Man. He's great, and I like those movies. But Moni's like, "Gee, you two. Sorry, we're old. We're millennials. Apparently, millennials are old now." But yeah, he was. I like those ones, but Miles Morales as a character. And also the world building around it. Well, not the world building, but all the characters that are like associated with him are so interesting. Like he's got his best friend. Oh God, I'm going to totally lie about this if this isn't true. I'm pretty sure his best friend's a lesbian. There's a deaf girl. He communicates with a deaf girl through sign language, like fully all sorted sign language. Like it's fully, you know, he does it in the game. There's just some, if you do a certain activity, I'm not going to say what, but you get a Black Lives Matter memorial or graffiti wall or whatever it's called up.
We'd love to see that.
And just the story's nice and fast. Like if you just go and do the main story, you can finish it in, I think Nicholas in the chat, I think he finished it in like 4 hours. It might take a little bit longer if you do any of the side missions, but I mean, I've spent 20 odd hours playing so far. I'm just one New Game Plus playthrough away from getting the platinum. That's literally the only thing. But yeah, you can just go straight through the story. There's no kind of just waiting around and doing some pointless side quest that start off like another chain of events. It's just like, no, if you want to stick with the story, here it is. And it's and it looks gorgeous as well on the PlayStation 5. It's it is stunning on the PlayStation 5. I play it in performance mode. I think it's performance because there's like fidelity.
That's the better frame rate, right?
Yeah, so I'm playing it in 60 FPS, and yeah, there's no way I'm going to go back. In fact, I switched to 30 FPS because I was like, I want to go and see what the ray tracing looks like in this. And I mean, you can tell the difference slightly. I mean, I've got a 4K TV that upscales, but to me, I mean, that's for me the best thing about the PlayStation 5 is enabling 60 FPS on quite a few things. Mikla says that is incorrect. Oh, we've got a fact checker in here. Fake news. You have to do a side quest after some main story missions to trigger the next story quest. Oh yeah, you might have to do the odd little crime. I think there's like it'll say, hey, let's just hang around until the next story, and usually it's like one crime or one little because you've got a smartphone now with some requests for help, and you can just do one of those, and then it triggers.
Is it still jumping on cars and stuff like that?
Yeah, they're all pretty much the same. Yeah, it's not a full priced game, which I'm glad at because it is shorter. There are fewer things to do, but it is pretty much the whole map. And it's in a snowy setting and it's quite overcast, and I don't know, I just love that because I've been to New York.
It's Christmassy.
It's very Christmassy as well. So we're talking, I think, in a few weeks or next week or something about Christmas games.
We will.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man Miles Morales is a Christmas game. And I went to New York when it was snowing, and I went through Central Park. So we were like, I was just walking around Central Park, not swinging. I was walking and going like, oh, I remember this. And like, that's not the Home Alone Hotel. That's not the Apple Store. It's brilliant though. It's just a lot of fun. It's got a really I find the story really interesting. It's not going to win any awards, but it's like a McDonald's burger. It tastes good, you enjoy it, and it's over quickly.
You've now really, really missold it to me, but thanks.
Yeah. I finished it though, and the music's awesome as well. I finished it and was like, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Good. And you were going to talk about Destiny 2, and I completely interrupted you.
Oh no, I don't think I was planning, but I can, yeah. Destiny 2, finish the expansion. It's more Destiny. It's nice. It's on another snowy expansion we're getting. Although Miles Morales isn't an expansion. It's more like a smaller version of Spider-Man, but it's Destiny. Sequel. Yeah, a mini sequel. It also I'm not going to spoil. I will. It's not a spoiler at all, but at the end of Miles Morales, at the end of Spider-Man, it kind of sets up a sequel, and at the end of Miles Morales, it adds to that. So there's definitely a big sequel coming out. But yeah, Destiny Beyond Light is the latest one. It's fun, it's cool. It's a campaign, which is nice, and it's also amazing when it says now on your quests like how many steps you've got of the campaign. So it was like step 1 of 34. I was like, well, that's quite a beefy campaign. And then I played it for about 10 minutes. Then it was like, you're on step 11 of 34. Okay, I'm not sure how that happened, but it's like, go and talk to this person. That's one step. Then move to this person. Then go and drop this off next to it, which is also another step. I finished it in 2 nights. I mean, I know Glenn Arini, another streamer, he finished it in 1 night, like just in a few hours. But like, that's just the campaign. As soon as the campaign finished, I had just loads of missions to get like these special guns or special weapons or exotic stuff. Yeah, a bit of £35.
It sounds like more Destiny.
It's more Destiny, yeah. You're not getting anything special, I'm afraid. Well, how's Demon Souls though? Is that special?
It's very special.
Why?
Very special. No, Demon Souls is great. It looks stunning on the PlayStation 5. It plays just like Dark Souls, but came beforehand. So if you've never played Demon Souls, but you have played the later Souls games, it's really interesting to see some of the links, like similar weapons, items, and sort of little threads and things are quite similar. But it just plays really well. It's really satisfying when you beat a boss that you've been struggling with for so long, and then you finally do it. But like I said, I think it's a little easier than before, and it's bringing back a lot of memories of when I played it on PS3, and I'm like, oh, I remember how I did that. So I am racing through it quicker than I thought I would, but it's a great experience. Definitely.
Did you get as angry back when you played it on PS3 as you did recently? Because I got some really angry messages from you.
Yeah. I think that was early on. I tried to go a bit too quick and was like, oh no, this is too hard. I'm not a high enough level for this. But no, I think Bloodborne actually got me the most angry.
Bloodborne,
yeah. I fear for my PS4 controller. It's been very close to being thrown into a wall on multiple occasions.
I never got into Bloodborne.
For some reason, I enjoy these games. Who knew?
Yeah, like Nicholas says, I like how we can pay €75 to get tortured. Yeah, and just get really, really angry.
Exactly.
And Gemma says, there's a lot of folks who do that. That's true. Yes, it's a bargain. Some places. Wow. Yeah, no, I really want to get into Demon Souls, and I will, because I love Neo, and I love Neo 2. I played like a good 25 hours of both of them and was like, I'm done. 25 hours, that's enough of, I'll get to a point where, okay, they're going to be really challenging bosses now. I think I'll just sit this out. I've beaten a few. That's good.
I'll be honest, I find that actually the bosses get easier as you go in.
Yeah.
Like Demon Souls is really hard at the beginning because until you've done the first level, you can't level up.
Yeah.
Like you can't basically do anything until you've forced your way through that first level, and then the game opens up into all the other levels you can do, and you can do them in whatever order you want, which is really
All
nice.
right.
So it means that rather than being stuck on one bit, you can be like, okay, this is too hard. I'm going to jump across into a different level. And it means you can actually jump around, and you'll find that if you push your way through one set of levels, you then jump across to a different world, and actually it's really easy because you're really over leveled. So depending on the order you do it, you can actually make it more or less difficult for yourself, which is quite good.
Right.
So
I will be following a guide to
I
make
would
sure.
be happy to guide you, Ben.
Please guide me to the easiest route. Now, knowing you'd be like, oh, go face this guy, like go face Ganon right at the start. And
Oh, of course I will troll you. Of course I will.
Is your partner ahead of you still?
Yeah, he finished it last night.
Oh, and this is his first time playing it, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I told him what to do, obviously.
Of course.
But I bought this game for me, and then someone else has finished it. Oh well.
Wow. He's not better
But then I've been
at all.
playing Bugsnax as well, so I think I definitely win.
Is he onto Bugsnax now, or is he onto a different?
Nope. No, he'll probably just play Demon Souls again.
Oh, get that platinum. Exactly. I did Google like how to get the platinum just out of interest, and apparently you got to go through it a few times.
Hunting.
I know.
There's
I need to stop.
More to life than trophy hunting.
If I trophy hunt, I end up not playing enough games. So, yeah, I will be doing will be next playing Spider-Man during the 24-hour stream on like the 8th or 9th of January, and to get that platinum, I'll just do a quick playthrough of it. And apart from that, no, I'm going to play. I think Valhalla will be my next one.
Nice. Valhalla. Well, no spoilers for next week.
No. Who knows what we'll be playing?
We'll have whole new games to talk about.
We will. Do you know what game we'll have next? Oh my god! You know when our podcast is next week?
It's the day before Cyberpunk, if that's where you're going.
Is it? I thought it's the day of Cyberpunk.
No, it's next Friday, isn't it?
No,
or is it next Thursday?
It's Thursday. It's the 10th, right?
What? Okay, I mean, I don't have time to play that beforehand, so
don't worry, I'll tell you all about it. I'll tell you all about it. It's on the 10th. Okay, so I'll have played it because I'll do a long, well, not a long stream. I'll do 5 hours of it and then tell you all about it. So don't worry.
Please do.
No, we'll have some kind of spoiler free. I'll just say it's really good. I like it. Let's move on. Maybe I'll be able to talk about Valhalla.
It's really good.
I like it a lot.
I really like this game. It's really good.
Wow. Really cockney here, mocking my northernness. Anyway, let's move on to Split. Is it Split the News? Are we calling it? Oh dear, that's not
Split the headlines.
Split the headlines. That's it. Stay on brand. So, tell us what's in the news today.
Well, yeah, this is the part where I pick out some interesting news stories for everyone and surprise Ben. So, unless you've actually bothered to read what I put
No, I've been streaming. I've been busy.
Didn't think so. So the first bit of news, which is my favorite bit of news from the past week, is that Super Nintendo World, the Nintendo theme park in Japan, finally has an opening date of the 4th of February next year, which I'm very excited about and need to find someone rich enough to buy me a plane ticket to go to Japan so I can actually go there. There's still not that many details about the park. But there are at least a couple of images about the Mario Kart ride, which looks like it's like a roller coaster train, but the cars are carts. And I think it's got some sort of VR, AR kind of thing to it. So it feels like you're racing and it's different every time. You can use items. And I think it's going to be inside of a massive Bowser's Castle, which sounds amazing. So I'm super hyped about that. And I desperately want to go.
I do kind of like those YouTube videos where it's showing like an onboard camera of a roller coaster. That will be one I would love to watch. Although if they're in VR, then I'm not sure how that's going to work. It'll just
very true. Are you a theme park guy, Ben?
I like the idea of theme parks, and then I go and I normally say I look at a roller coaster and go no, and then Dave is like, we have an argument, and then I'm like, okay, fine, and I end up really enjoying it.
See, I'm the person that will queue an extra 4 hours just so I can sit at the front, and then I'll be like, all the way through it.
One of them.
So that's me. I am all over this theme park. I desperately want to go.
Yeah, Nicholas said, do you reckon Nintendo will DMCA claim all the vlogs recorded there? Yes. You'll have to apply for a special permission to record there, and they'll take like 70% of all money that you've made. Yeah. Oh, here's Dave is here. Dave is in the chat, actually. Says he can't breathe in the queue. No, I'm like hyperventilating. Oh, but then at the end of it, I'm like, oh, I love that. That was amazing. Yeah. We went to the opening of Shambhala. Have you ever heard of Shambhala in Portaventura?
Yes. I have been there. I went on when we had a family holiday, and I forced my family to take me there, and we went on Dragon Con, and I was about 10.
That Dragon Car is great. I didn't realize how good that was.
8 loops.
Yeah. Oof. But yeah, we went. Shambhala is the tallest something in Europe, and I don't know how, but we ended up going. Well, we went on this queue. Sorry to go and diverge, onto a different topic here, but we went and did this queue for like 2 hours or so because it was on its launch, and then we get there, and it's the highest roller coaster in Europe, fast, super fast, and all that. And then we got to the front, and it's like these little pathetic things that go over your knees, like over the shoulder, just these little. Oh, I was so close to just turning around and being like, "Fuck this! I'll hold your jacket, Dave, and have a nice trip. I'll see you later." But no,
Whereas I was at the front.
Yeah, no, but then like I think the worst part is when you go up. Like that is just
that slow climb.
Oh, and you're looking like
and then the dip over the top.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Amazing.
The worst.
I love it. Anyway, I might have this as inspiration for an idea for next week. So have a think about theme parks. In more Nintendo news of the week, in quite strange Nintendo news of the week, Uri Geller has given Nintendo permission to print Kadabra on Pokemon cards. Now, any Pokemon fans will know of Abra, Kadabra, and Alakazam. And Kadabra's the middle one. And he is shown holding a spoon. And let me scroll through this article because the Japanese name for Kadabra is Yungela, which is probably awful pronunciation, which apparently sounds like Uri Geller. And Uri Geller he's an illusionist, if you don't know, and he has a weird trick with a spoon.
A delusionist, more like, hey?
Oh. And basically he complained that Nintendo had taken his likeness because apparently he looks like a weird yellow creature with a mustache.
And he uses spoons. And he
complained about it.
He does. Like Kadabra's the one with spoons.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
Apparently you couldn't. Like, isn't there? There's a strange thing that you couldn't trade Kadabra in a Pokemon game since then. Even if you're holding something that stops you from, because I think when you trade Kadabra, it turns into Alakazam, and even if it's holding a special stone, I believe, that stops them evolving, he still evolves. So you can't trade a Kadabra. Everstone. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, this is on the cards. He basically wouldn't let them print it, and essentially, so many people have complained that he has now relented. So apparently, we're now going to get
his card.
Kadabra cards.
Did you read it? Yeah, I'm giving them permission to use my card. Is that right? Okay then.
Thank you, Uri Geller. So we're all about launch games today. So I'm sure everyone is dying to know what the consoles have sold.
Oh,
probably. So I only have numbers here for the UK, but the PlayStation 5 has broken the record for the UK's biggest ever console launch. And I can't find the number on here. That's great. But the previous one was
6 billion consoles sold in the UK. Fact.
Not quite. This is UK only. I mean, the previous was PlayStation 4, which was 250,000 in the first 48 hours. And PS5 was more than that. I can't find the number in this article. That's great. But it's outsold Xbox, which was 155,000 units. So it sold quite a bit more. So there you go. And I believe that globally, Sony haven't given numbers yet, but the PS5 they have said is the biggest launch globally ever. And again, the previous biggest one was PS4. So it's at least more than what PS4 was, which, especially when you consider all the shortages because of Corona, like that's still pretty impressive. And I think it shows that video games are just getting bigger and bigger every year. Like, doesn't matter what console it is, it's still going to sell.
Yeah, 100%. I got 2. Accidentally,
two.
before people go, wow, you're the scalper. No,
Yeah, think about those poor children at Christmas that are now not going to get a console.
fuck them kids, as whoever it is said. No, it was, I pre-ordered one from Game. I think I've mentioned this before, but I pre-ordered one from Game and they didn't send me a confirmation email or anything like that. And so I got up very early the next day and pre-ordered one on Amazon. And then Game, like a week later, said, hey, here's your confirmation, your pre-order confirmation email and order number or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to get rid of either of them. And then I ended up, because there was a mess with delivery and stuff, ended up getting both. But I sold one of them at RRP. I didn't make any profit whatsoever to Andy Maxter, a fellow streamer that you should go and check out.
I feel like we've really bashed Game today. Sorry.
No, you reminded me, actually, I need to go and contact Game because their website was so shite during the pre-order that I had to go, and I don't have my the points. I don't have my PlayStation 5 points on my card, and that is a good chunk of points.
What a shame.
What a shame.
And the last piece in ASMR news is that ASMR artists have now found the DualSense controller, and someone's done an ASMR video where they are playing Astro's Playroom, and they've got the controller up to the microphone, and you can like hear all the vibrations and stuff, which apparently is good for ASMR. So that's weird, but if you like that kind of thing, then you can find out.
Is it quite loud at vibrating?
Well, I think it's something around the waves that it uses is similar to sound waves. So apparently you can hear what it feels like.
Stick it in your mouth, then like chatter against the teeth. That'll give some sounds.
Moving on. That was Split the Headlights.
I mean, I'd listen to that just for the
Do
laugh.
not
Just
put a games controller in your mouth. Do not do that.
Yeah, actually, we do not. Yeah, people's teeth are going to break. That thing vibrates. Money being utter filth in the chat says he says mouth, but he means something else.
Money.
Gutter.
Put it in your money.
Oh, put it in your money. Don't put it in your money. All right. Okay. So we're going to now talk about, we're going to go on to something called Split Opinions. Split Opinions. Yeah.
Split Opinions.
And as you might have guessed, we're talking about launch games. So that is, we've got some great stories from people with their favorite launch days games, and also things that have happened during launch games, and some questions. So one game that we didn't speak about, but I think we should, because I think we've both finished it, which was a launch game, which was probably, I mean, Miles Morales is definitely my favorite launch game of the PS5, but I've absolutely loved Astro's Playroom. The nostalgia in me loved, like, the nostalgia just hits every spot. If anybody doesn't know, it's a game that you'd think was kind of just be there to kind of show off the PS5. You know, it shows off a bit of the ray tracing, whatever. There's the kind of the triggers kind of, you can change, it changes the strength. I don't know, what is it called? Haptic? No, that's when is it haptic feedback? Is that what it is?
Cool.
Yeah, so sometimes these triggers are really like tough to pull back. Sometimes they're not. It's very fancy.
When you're like pulling a bow.
Yeah.
The string on a bow. I don't know the word.
Bowstring.
But it's a bowstring. There you go. It's like you're squeezing it to pull it back, or there's like a
that sound. Can someone clip that?
Don't clip that. Or it's like a rocket boost, and it's sort of like you have to sort of really squeeze it and then boost on the triggers.
That was the thing as well. When you're pulling it back for the rocket, you can actually feel like the rocket kind of
like powering up.
Yeah, and it's not just one strength. It can like adjust it at the drop of a hat. It's really cool. But you'd think that's what Astro's Playroom's about, but it's not just that. Like, it is a really fun platformer with so many PlayStation, from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 5, with even Vita and the PSP in there as well, and some other weird things. I swear, half the things that I unlock are weird accessories for the PSP that only came out in Japan. Yeah, some really weird ones. But yeah,
I loved all the little Astros around.
Yeah.
like recreating little bits from scenes of games. So there's like an Aloy, and there's a Tomb Raider, and Devil May
The
Cry,
I
everything
went a
else.
little bit. I squealed a little bit when we had Pyramid Head carrying the other Astrobot by the ankle. That was just
Yeah.
that was
I was a bit
brilliant.
disappointed by the Final Fantasy VII one. It's literally just a sword.
Did you take a screenshot though?
No.
No. Oh, my screenshots are getting full up now. I need to go in. Well, not getting full. Although it's a lot. It's about half because I had a 2 terabyte SSD in my PS4 Pro, so I'm like not used to being quite full up with
Fancy.
memory. Yeah, no, it's going to cost a lot to get 2 terabytes on this one with their fancy whatever drive it is.
Definitely. I
Oh,
think the bit that really got me in Astro was there's a bit where you're walking and it starts raining, and he has a little umbrella hat that comes out that's super cute, but it's like you can feel the rain in the controller, like individual droplets in the controller.
yeah,
Like I literally had the biggest smile on my face playing that. I was like, this is so cool. Like I've never had this before.
yeah,
So it's a great showcase for what the controller can do, which I think is what you want from a launch game.
totally. It's a really, really, really cool game, and it's free as well. Even better.
Exactly.
It's free. So is Bugsnax, but play Astro's Playroom first because that's better.
Only because it's shorter, and then play Bugsnax.
Get the platinum on on Astro's Playroom before you play
More trophy
Bugsnax.
talk.
Yeah.
So Ben, what is your favorite launch game ever?
Easy.
Easy.
It's easy. My answer.
What is it?
Breath of the Wild.
A great choice.
I'm like, yeah, I haven't got any excitement. Maybe 1-2 Switch. That was fun for a minute. No, it's shit. No, Breath of the Wild was easily the best. I'm loving Miles Morales and Astro's Playroom. I mean, these are all cool as well, but I just don't think there's anything that's quite as good as Breath of the Wild.
Fair.
What about you?
I think that's fair. Well, you asked me that as if I haven't prepared like a top three, because apparently that's how my mind works. And at number three,
Oh god, that's a throwback, isn't it? The top of the pops. Okay, in at number 3.
3 was Breath of the Wild, which, to be fair, is the main reason I bought a Switch. Like, I'm a big Zelda fan. I knew I wanted to play it. I bought the console just to play Breath of the Wild, and I think it is one of the best games ever made. And it's my favorite game on the Switch. It's the one I played the most, like hands down. So in that sense, like it's a really easy choice. However, then I was thinking, this is about launch games. Like, what do you want from a launch game? Yeah, you want a good game, but you want something that actually, as we said with Astro, is going to really show off the console you've just bought. You spent, 400 or 500 quid on a console. You want to show it off. You want something cool. And that's why my number 2 choice is Wii Sports, because that was a weird console with motion control and a weird little remote control. And you're thinking, why have I bought this?
Yeah.
Like this weird piece of tech. And then you put that controller in their hand and say, go and play golf. And people immediately know how to play it. It's super intuitive. It's super fun. And I think that game really sold the console and sold this weird concept that people hadn't had before.
Did you have like
that's what you
Did you have like one of those big box of accessories, all the crap, the steering wheel and the tennis racket and all that?
No, I had a steering wheel, but I got that with Mario Kart.
Yeah, I did as well. I never played with it because it was terrible. I couldn't drive with
exactly. I want to do this. No, absolutely not. No, I bought a Wii on launch day. I had it pre-ordered, and it was really out of stock everywhere. So I was really happy to get it. I was really worried I was going to get mugged on the way home with a massive game again, a massive game bag. At like 7 in the morning when I went to the store.
Oh.
But no, Wii Sports is like the game that really sold that, and I think it was the top selling game on the console, partly because it came with it, but is a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
However, my number 1 choice was me thinking, okay, well, let's take a game that's actually a really good game, but also a game that really shows off the console. And so my number 1 choice is Super Mario 64.
That's a good choice.
Which it is a very good choice.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me you haven't played it.
No, I never had a Nintendo 64. We were a PlayStation household. No, but I did play it once and I didn't know what to do. My friend had one of those weird controllers and it was broke. The joystick thing was flimsy, so I didn't really like playing it.
Great little controller. It looks weird as hell. No, like Mario 64, I remember going to a friend's house, and before then, I had only played on a Mega Drive. I was obsessed with Sonic, and everything was 2D. And then to see this massive, colorful 3D open world you can just run around in was just the most amazing thing to like 10-year-old me. Um, and it's fun just to run around in Peach's castle and using a control stick for the first time and moving a camera around. Like it completely defined what 3D games are about, and how to make and play a 3D game was completely defined by that game. And so to have that at launch was a really amazing experience. But it's also really fun, which 3D All Stars that just came out proves that it's still today a really, really fun game. It's incredibly well made. It's still challenging. And it really brings those two things together. It shows off your console, but it's also super fun. So for that reason, that is my favorite ever launch game.
I mean, that it is good. It looks great. I don't know whether. Well, did you squeal a little bit in the latest Mario Odyssey when you?
Yes, and you get to go back to Peach's castle.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
That was fun.
It's
Oh
great.
yeah, spoiler.
Yeah. No,
Awkward.
I got there, and because I hadn't played it on, because I never had a Nintendo 64, a lot of people in chat, I think, were, because I streamed it. A lot of people in chat were like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "What? It's a castle." Yeah, they were like, "It's Peach's castle." Okay.
Shocking, man.
I feel like my friend had one, and I didn't really play. I had my PlayStation 1 and all the weird and very weird games that came out on there.
There are a lot of weird games. I mean, the one thing I will say is that PlayStation are not good with launch games.
No.
Like, the only PlayStation I bought at launch was a PS5, because I got suckered in by hype, and I just happened to sleepily click on Amazon and my credit card on the day that they went live. But the other consoles I've always bought at least a year or two afterwards.
Yeah.
Like the PS2, 3, 4, they never had good launch games. And I'm sure someone in chat is about to tell you, "Oh, this was amazing."
That Killzone
But like,
and what was the one with the
like
flashy colors? Was it not Beyond Light? That's Destiny. Something Infamous or something. Beyond Suns. Or, I don't know what it's called.
that wasn't a launch game.
Was it not?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Well, I think it came out a couple of months
okay.
afterwards, but it wasn't technically like there at launch. Although that was good, to be fair.
Yeah. Oh my god. Of course, Knack. Who could forget Knack?
Why would you remember Knack?
Yeah.
But no, you get your Knack, your Call of Duty, your Killzone, your millions of sports games.
Yeah.
Whereas like Nintendo really know how to make a launch game that is going to sell, that is really going to show off the console. It's going to launch with a Mario game or a Zelda game or something like that. I mean, even the GameCube, which was the first console I ever bought at launch with my own money, that there was a big hoo-ha because it launched without a Mario game, but it also had Luigi's Mansion that was incredible. And there was a massive thing about, oh my god, there's no Mario game.
Is
but Nintendo
Luigi's
know how
Mansion
to-
a Mario game? I would
No,
say
it's a Luigi game.
it's
clearly.
a off-brand Mario game. It's the Mario world, the Mario verse.
It's the better brother.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion
saying.
3, good game, very good game.
So good.
But yeah, I suppose Nintendo doesn't really have those third-party games because now there's Watch Dogs Legion's got an update, although not 60 FPS. I'm still a bit annoyed about that. The Valhalla's got this 60 FPS update and had loads of bugs fixed apparently, so I'm quite looking forward to going and playing that on the PS5.
Nice.
And so they've got those to kind of fall back on. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Xbox. What were their launch titles apart that were new? I don't think they had
Halo
any
for the original Xbox.
Oh, no, I mean
which
for the new
have
one,
Oh,
the Series X.
there weren't any. It's just all old games,
Jeez.
better, probably.
Yeah, all the ones.
Someone
I
correct me
think
if I'm wrong.
Yakuza Like a Dragon.
That's true, but it wasn't exclusive.
It's not. Isn't it exclusive at the moment?
I think
Oh no,
it's
on like
I believe it's
Stadia
on
or something.
PS4. It's not yet on PS5.
Oh, Tetris Effect
think.
Connected. That's one.
Cool.
But I think that's also out
Tetris.
on PS. I think that's also on Xbox One.
Sorry, I'm not a Tetris fan.
Oh, not even Tetris Effect.
I've never played Tetris Effect, and I'm sure putting a load of fancy graphics on Tetris is going to make it a million times better.
Yes, it is, and it's in VR as well. well, Dave played a bit on VR, and like about 2 hours later, I went in and he was still playing it, and he took it off, and I was like, "Oh, he's still playing it?" He's like, "What?" And then he had no idea that 2 hours had passed. Like
Good.
it's so
How can you play VR for 2 hours? I play it for 2 minutes and I feel sick. So
gotta get your VR legs. Gotta get your VR legs.
yeah, true.
All right, so we got a few
We have
little.
some stories, don't we?
We do, yeah. So speaking of speaking of it, well, I could give you my own little story that I got when I got my PlayStation 1, which I've heard you want me to explain. So I got my PlayStation 1. It was my first ever console. I'd never I can't tell if I got the Game Boy Pocket before or after. I think I got it after. But yeah, this was the first time I'd ever really played a video game other than going over to my friend's house for like 5 minutes and playing some Sonic 3D, so crap like that. But yeah, I got a well, my dad on Christmas Day, we had opened our present. I had a bike or something nice and fancy like that. And he was like, "Oh, go and check the mail or go and check the post because it's from Yorkshire." And I was like, "Why? No,
Check the post.
I was like, no, it's 6 a.m. It's like 7 a.m. Dave. He's not called Dave. Yeah, he's the other dad. No, it's like it's 7 a.m. Dad. I'm not going to get the post. He's like, no, you should check it. I was like, it's Christmas Day. It's not going to be post. I was like, oh, okay, go and check it. Right. Went and checked it, and though Santa had left a treasure hunt around the house. So I went around the house, did this treasure hunt, and at the end was a PlayStation. My first ever console, and I was so excited that I was sick and I nearly passed out. I literally was vomiting in the. I was so excited.
Like on yourself, or did you manage to run to a toilet?
No. I went to the bathroom and then had to sit down. I was kind of faint.
I just had this image of you just opening and just going.
Some kind of Little Britain sketch. Yeah.
Like Kenny from South Park or something.
Just like, yeah, there he goes. No, but I was just, so over the top excited at that. It was
poor little Ben with his 90s bedroom.
Oh gosh, yeah, you've seen that picture on Twitter. Oh. Okay, here we go. We got a message from Jay, aka Pancake Party. I said, my story about my first console is quite a big distance from the console's launch, but it is a story with a lot of joy attached. My dad bought the NES when it first came out and played it all the time with his sons before he and his first wife got a divorce. He, of course, left the NES. Do we say NES or NES? It's always NES. NES. Okay, with his... I never had one.
I call it NES.
Okay, his NES with his sons, but never really got to play video games for a good while after that. By the time I was about 6 or 7, we still had never had a games console at home. Though a good few consoles had released since the NES. However, one day the church across the street was having a garage sale, and one of the items was an original NES with 10 games for $15. Absolutely.
That's a steal.
Yeah, God, what? Even back then, my dad could tell it was a steal. It even came with Super Mario Brothers and the Duck Hunt game, and the little orange plastic guns you could use. What an absolute bargain. He brought it home and got it cleaned up and brought my sister and me into the room to show us. I was very skeptical about how playing with the TV could be fun. Yeah, my parents are still like that. But we played through most of the games the first day we had it. We, of course, did not finish any of them. I can relate so much to this. Save for puzzle games that are just played in rounds, such as Yoshi and Cool Spot. I had a lot of fun and always hold that console dear to my heart. But what was more special and what sticks in my mind far stronger is how my dad lit up with video games. He would play them late into the night with us or alone. Mario became almost synonymous with my dad. He was like a kid again, and it was so cool to have him really play with us and relate to what we were interested in. The NES was also my nephew's first console, the same NES that my dad bought at that garage sale. So my family's love for video games is multi-generational and continues to this day. Oh, that is a lovely story.
Cute.
So then NES is, I'm guessing, there was the NES Mini on, is it called? Yeah, the NES, no, not the NES Mini, the NES, like emulator thing on the Switch. It'd be cool to play through some of those games, I bet. Oh, Switch Online, yeah. Also got one
the
from...
one thing I love as well is when people have these stories about playing with their family. I mean, not to go to the other extreme, but my family have never been interested in gaming. It's always something I've done sort of on my own in my room, like, heads off playing video games. Yeah. And I think doing Streamer Spotlight, I often ask people, what was the game that first got you into gaming? Or the one that sort of defined your childhood. And so many people are like, I used to play this with my brothers and sisters, or I used to play this with my mum. And I'm like, that's such a nice story. And it's so great that you get to grow up and have that bonding experience over video games. Because never had that. So I always
Yeah.
love hearing stories like that. It's really nice.
Same, except my dad will play like, what's it called? Solitaire. He'll play that whenever
My
he
mum plays that
wants.
on the phone all the time, and
But
I'm
like,
like,
we don't like video games, but we'll play Solitaire. It's like, okay, so that
yeah,
you know that's a video game. Yeah. My dad absolutely, what is it? Gary says my dad absolutely hates video games. I know it's just a different way of getting entertainment. It's like, well, I don't understand why you interacting to get entertainment is somehow really childish, whereas watching a movie isn't. Yeah.
exactly.
Capped, by the way, here's a story, slightly different. The other half ordered a PS5 on eBay, paid over the odds for it, waited for it for days, and on the day it was due to be delivered, I was tracking it online, and at 9:11 a.m. it said it was signed for and delivered, which was BS as I was in the house waiting for it. Skip forward 5 minutes when the other half rang to see if I had it. I had not. This prompted both of us to retrace the route the driver took on the tracker to find out who and where he delivered it to. 2 hours later, we found it at a completely different address 2 miles away. When we found it, we had to knock the neighbor who it was being delivered to let them know it was our parcel and we weren't just stealing it from inside their neighbor's porch. Needless to say, it was a journey that day and one I'd rather not repeat. P.S. Parcel force are shit. God.
Correct.
That stress. I thought I was stressed just queuing up for it outside game because we're not in lockdown, or we weren't in lockdown in Wales, so I had to actually go out and queue, and I was stressed that there was going to be this huge queue and I wouldn't have time for work. But that's nothing. Nothing compared to that.
I mean, that's dedication to go hunting for it, but also very understandable. When you spend that much money on a console, you want it at your door, not at someone else's house, who is probably going to sit there and be like, "No, we never received anything," which is definitely what I would do. So yeah, like, I mean, great work in eventually getting it.
But I mean, if it's signed for, I'm guessing they can see like, that's not my signature. Who is that? Where are you delivering it to?
Squiggle.
Final one, Nincompoop. Simon, he says, this is a different one. So he used to work at an electronics store. We sold everything from kitchen electronics and vacuums to games, being best known for the latter. I wasn't supposed to work the night of the Switch midnight release, but got called in on short notice, and needing the money, I accepted. There was a line outside of people who were super excited, talking to people across the friend groups, and everyone was so happy. We set everything up with gift bags from Bergsala, which is the company who's responsible for distribution of Nintendo products since the 80s, and opened up the gates. I was expecting a bit of a rush since I've only ever seen these events on TV, but it was surprisingly calm. People split up into the different lines for checkouts and we started selling. I can only speak from my own experience from that store, but no group of people are as lovely as Nintendo fans. I can imagine that. The friend groups, the couples, the ones that came alone but got new friends in the line, everyone that night all shared the same childlike excitement over this. You could tell they'd grown up with Nintendo and had so many fond memories connected to Nintendo games, stories they shared to us while they bought Zelda Breath of the Wild or Super Bomberman R. Oh god, that must be it. Well, as long as they had fun buying it, because they wouldn't have had any fun playing it. After it was all said and done, I went home with warmth in my heart and an excitement to meet every customer who would come and get their Switch in the weeks to come, because I knew I'd see the same kind of excitement again. Oh, that is
These
really
are
sweet.
lovely stories.
Yeah.
I mean, I do not envy any people working in retail. When you see
No.
these videos of people charging through, grabbing TVs and consoles and stuff, like, I would not want to be working that. But trust the Nintendo fans to actually be nice people.
Yeah. Nintendo. Mr. Weeble says Nintendies are better than Microsofties and Sony's. The Sony ponies.
Softies.
Yeah, Microsofties. All right, unfortunately we don't have any time for the questions, but we're going to save. Any questions that get sent to us, we'll bank them and keep them somewhere for when we do finish a little bit earlier, or not. But well, that was it. That was episode 1. How are you feeling, Ed?
Better than I did at the start, so that's good.
Oh, well,
and you?
I'm doing very well. That hour just disappeared. It was great. Well, I enjoyed it. I hope everybody else did.
Yes.
So before we go and say our goodbyes, please, if you go to splitthescreen.com, so that is splitthescreen.com, please, can you give us a follow on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you've got both of them? That would be amazing.
Everywhere.
So yeah, we used to have back in the day, I used to do a little political podcast with a friend, and we got a thing where we would ask people to make reviews, and there would be comedy reviews, but they'd be like, oh, this is, some people would just go over the top. It was hilarious. And they would do reviews on iTunes. And because people did this, it actually got promoted in the new and noteworthy section of iTunes back when it was called iTunes. And so there'd be, it'd be really weird. All these really top professional podcasts, and then there's this one that Ben and his friend talking about politics with no real structure or anything, just wittering on. So if you do, find us on Spotify, or if you are on Apple Podcasts and you leave a little review, even just a hello, you can give us 1 out of 10. Who cares? Or out of 5, whatever it is. Just
be nice.
Okay,
Give
be
us a
nice.
5.
Give us a 5. Give Ed a 5. See, that'll make it happen.
We're a team, Ben. We're a team.
God, such a nice guy. Everybody knows Ed. Nice guy. Nice guy, Ed. But we're also on like TuneIn, Alexa. Apparently, Alexa, play Split the Podcast. No, what's it called? Split the Screen.
Split the Screen. Let's get the name right.
Yeah. Split the Screen. 4 out of 5 for Ed. 0 out of 5 for Ben. I will take. I mean, that's a 5. That is unless you're doing it on like a 10-point scale. Well, that's kind of rude. A bit awkward, yeah. So yeah, thank you so much. We're going to be recording. This will be on YouTube if you want to watch the video version, but it will definitely be on Spotify, iTunes, and all your RSS needs at splitthescreen.com. Ed, how do we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at @ed_nights, which is NIGHTS.
That's right. And he's not a streamer yet. And you can find me, Biggest Bennis, on Twitch, Biggest Bennis1 on Twitter. Still sore. But yeah, just find us on splitthescreen.com. And thank you very, very much for watching. Bye.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Be there or be split.
Oh, wow, that's a thing. That we're going to do that. Perfect. All right, yeah. Thank you so much to everybody. We're gonna go and send a raid over to the lovely Kie. I'll be back. In fact, I can put this on now. I'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. with wrestling. It's been a bit wild, all this changing around. We're gonna go and raid Kie. Go and give him a lot of love. I will. Let me go and bring up his chat so I can say hello. And yeah, thank you so much. Podcast, all info we'll talk about in the Discord and on Twitter and stuff. So yeah, thank you so much. Hope you had fun. Bye.